We did a lot of research, like a lot of market research, more than I typically see done. We surveyed 16,000 people, and we learned a lot in that process. So that was, a lot of our validation was done with surveying.
How did you do those surveys?
I mean, they were all online, but it helps when you have, my previous business had a big email list.
Okay.
So we were able to hit those people up.
Yeah, you leverage that.
Yeah, so that was, you know, and they sort of helped us validate that the simple, you know, the things you hear all the time, like, do you have this problem? If there's a problem, you know, would you, here's this an idea for a solution. Would you use this solution? Would you pay for the solution? All that pretty common sense stuff. We did that, which was how we did a lot of our early validation.
So one question real quick, when you're surveying or you're basically doing market research, how do you ask the question without leading them to the answer that you probably want? You know what I'm saying?
So I do the opposite of that. I try to lead them to the answer that I don't want, and that way if they give me the answer that I do want, it's more powerful. I don't know if it's probably not the right way to do surveying, but it's how I like to do it, because when I tell that story, people are always like, oh wow, that sounds like...
makes sense.
Yeah, so maybe I just do that for the reaction from people. But that's how we do it. And we do it a lot. Like, we just did a 2,000 person survey like 2 weeks ago, and then we're like in the middle of another one that I think 600 people have replied to in the last week. We do a lot of surveying. It's something I believe pretty strongly in. On top of, I mean, that's sort of, you get stated preference, and then we do a lot of stuff to get revealed preference, and then kind of pair the two.
How do you get answers? Because I feel like, I don't know, maybe I'm just making snap judgment, but I feel like people don't want to, typically people don't like to answer surveys.
We do raffles. Like, if you know, every time you enter for everyone who enters, they have a chance to win something. And so that's served as a high enough incentive for our audience, typically, or at least for as many people as we get. I've combed through answers. We get good answers that people generally help. I mean, it's you ask questions that are relevant to them. I think we always put surveys out with the sort of the preface of, hey, help us build a better product for you. Help us, enhance your... Yeah, and I mean, it's not rocket science. A lot of people do that. But yeah, we offer something, and people usually do it. And maybe it's our audience. Gamers like to talk, and they like to have people listen.
Well, they're pretty engaged with the product too, right? They care about...
Yeah, we get about 20 to 50, it's probably a big range, probably 20 to 50 feedback submissions like a day on our website or our app of people either, I think we have a couple boxes, like, there's the praise or there's like bugs and feedback, and we get a lot of, I'd say, half to 2/3 of it is like product suggestions, like, hey, I wish you guys would do this, I'd love if you did this, or whatever. And so yeah, they're vocal and engaged. So when you ask them, when you give them an easier outlet to do that, you tend to get good responses.